20 of February, 2016. Naval Special Operation Group lead the mission. Operation Haribon. The warning order came in at 1500 requesting sniper/observer teams from the SEALs. They scrambled to prepare their men and were airlifted from Zamboanga to Lanao by C-130 that morning at 0500. The mission was dubbed Operation Haribon after the Haribon Infantry Brigade in the area. When a NAVSOG Detachment 8 hit the ground, the SEALs soon moved in to fill a sniper and reconnaissance role, spotting enemy movement 700 meters away from their hide site. The MORT group is yet another secessionist group in the Philippines that seeks to carve out a province of their own in the southern portions of the archipelago in which they would enforce strict Islamic law. In many ways, the MORT group is just a pack of bandits with an ideological cover. In February of 2016, Omar Mort and his brother Abdullah directed his terrorist organization to capture villages, towns, and municipalities in Lanao del Sur, which provoked the reaction they wanted from the Philippine government. Under the element of the dark, the SEAL team infiltrate, scanning the area and looking at the targets who are complacent, doing their everyday routine. The snipers radioed any intelligence information they gathered back to headquarters until the time came for them to engage. The enemy had .30mm sniper rifles and a homemade .50 caliber Barrett. The SEALs were firing their 7.62 DMR sniper rifles. They soon found that at 700 meters the enemy was not able to hit the broadside of a barn. The SEAL snipers were highly skilled marksmen. The MORT group suffered under precision fire from the snipers as well as indirect fire that the SEALs called in on enemy positions. We did that for a whole day. We did it until 1800 in the evening, Carlo recalled. Using the cover of darkness that night, the SEALs withdrew to the Haribon Brigade's tactical headquarters, where they met with a Light Reaction Company, LRC. The LRC is one maneuver element belonging to the Light Reaction Regiment, LRR, the Philippine Army's elite counter-terrorism unit. The ground element had to conduct a river crossing in order to infiltrate into the village. Because of the crossing, it was decided that the SEALs would be the lead element into the target area. When we reached near the target, the firefight escalated, Carlo said. On the first burst of gunfire, 2 army guys are already dead. The enemy held the high ground and had the special operations soldier pinned down with machine gun and sniper fire. With the sun coming up at 0500 in the morning, the decision was made to withdraw and try again after consolidating and reorganizing their forces. The next attack saw the assaulters dashing across an open rice field while their sniper provided support. Hitting the first building, 4 more terrorists were killed immediately. The snipers eliminated a further 2 fighters. Also present in the village was a 4-story tower specifically made for enemy snipers to fire at the Philippine military forces from out of small holes. The SEALs quickly captured the tower and placed their own snipers inside. At the end of the first day of fighting, the SEALs established their tactical operations center in an abandoned school. The house-to-house combat continued for 5 days. Frustratingly, Omar Mort managed to escape up into the mountains before he could be captured or killed. Only 17 enemy bodies were recovered, but the exact number of enemy dead is difficult to estimate. Islamist groups tend to recover their dead and bury them quickly in accordance with their religious beliefs. Intelligence assessments put the total enemy dead at around 50, but no one knows for sure. After a month, the MORT group had again taken over villages in Lanao, which consisted of about 300 homes and structures. The infantry could not penetrate the town, so they called on the Joint Special Operations Group to clear the town. Enemy numbered around 200 well-armed MORT terrorists, said Tony, the SEAL platoon leader on the mission said. His team had been in Cotabato running counter-narcotics operations against criminal element when they were flown into Lanao by C-130. Their strike time was set at 0500 in the morning. The SEALs attempted to infiltrate along the backside of the village, where the terrorists should not have been expecting them. Instead, they came under heavy fire from well-prepared trenches and inside houses. A forward air controller, FAC, was shot through the chest. The SEALs had to crawl for several hundred meters to recover and evacuate him to safety. There is a possibility that the operation was leaked to the enemy, Tony told Sofrup. At the time, the government was involved in peace negotiations with the MILF, Moro Islamic Liberation Front, terrorist group. As a part of their ceasefire agreement, the MILF had to be told about military operations in the area. Some suspect that the MILF leaked their advanced warning of Haribon 3 to the Mort group. We held our ground and step by step we cleared the town after 3 days with no sleep, Tony described. During the first 2 days it was difficult, because the enemy was just one house or two houses away, about 50 meters. We utilized artillery and air assets to go house to house, little by little, until the armored vehicles came in. There was a bridge into the village, but the SEALs suspected that the Mort group had rigged it with explosives, so they were not about to risk having the infantry drive their armored vehicles across. Later, they were able to identify another route that vehicles could take into the operational area. For 3 days, the SEALs provided sniper support, while LRC operators were clearing the village. The army operators suffered over a dozen men wounded, plus the FAC who was shot on the first day. Afterwards, the SEALs were assigned follow-on operations to clear out several Mort group camps in the jungle. They discovered underground bunkers and many improvised explosive devices. We found wires, batteries, and explosives, Tony said. Operation Haribon 4 picked up right where the past 3 had left off, and Collis again found himself thrown into action alongside his teammates. While the infantry was in the mountains we acted as a QRF in the urban areas, Carlos said, but soon they had specific high-value targets to go after, the Mort group financier and his brother. The SEALs would go after one brother, while the LRC would go after the other, striking the two houses that were several hundred meters apart from each other at the same time. We planned to gain control, and then provide sniper support for the other objective and likewise, so that the SEALs and LRC could provide mutually supporting fires. Instead, the SEALs found themselves under fire from multiple elevated positions, and trapped outside as the explosive we have, the time fuse was damaged. But we cannot destroy it, the door, with the sledgehammer, so we call for the help from the LRR. They brought their explosive and set it up. We were then able to conduct the entry and clear the building, the SEAL said. We suffered 2 wounded at that time with that fucking door. The SEALs made their entry through the breach point and killed 2 terrorists. The brother was spotted, but managed to escape. However, he did leave behind a blood trail indicating that he had been hit. The SEAL enlisted men wanted to follow up on the blood trail, but Carlo would not allow it as they have very limited numbers of men in their element, and it would be easy for them to become surrounded and cut off. The brother's 9-year-old daughter was also shot in the side during the firefight. We rushed her to the hospital and she survived, Carlo said of the event. Both SEAL leaders pointed towards their good working relationship with the Light Reaction Regiment. We conducted previous operations and trained with them, so we have strong relationship with LRC, so they know our movements and we know their movements, Tony explained. Both repeatedly spoke of the bravery of their men and were quite proud of their performance under fire as well as their dedication to leaving no man behind, be he a SEAL, a light reaction company operator, or a forward air controller. The SEALs also indicated a number of lessons learned and areas that can be improved when it comes to both equipment and planning.